Have you ever thought of investing in unit trusts? Then this video is for you. I believe units are one of the ideal investments for beginners, and not only for beginners, it's a great investment for seasoned investors as well. And in this video, I'm going to share 7 benefits of investing in unit trusts. Now, before jumping into the content, this video is sponsored by Capital Alliance Limited, one of the leading investment banks in Sri Lanka. CAL offers so many investment opportunities for individuals like you and me, as well as for corporate and institutional investors. And also, CAL offers a range of unit trust funds, and I invest with them on a regular basis. So if you want to learn how you can get started with CAL, make sure to watch this video until the end. Right, now this is the third video of this series, and if you have not watched the first and the second videos, make sure to check them out, because in the first video I share everything about what a unit trust is, and in the second video I discussed about the different fund types that are available in Sri Lanka. So if you want to watch those videos, make sure to check out the link in the description below. Right, now let's learn the different benefits you get by investing in units. The first benefit is diversification. If you have ever taken an investing class, one of the first things you learn is the importance of diversifying your portfolio. If you can diversify your portfolio among different assets, you can reduce the probability of losing money drastically. Now, unit trusts invest in multiple assets. Now, these assets can be stocks, they can be fixed deposits, they can be government securities, and they can be commercial debt instruments. And when you invest in a unit trust that invest in multiple assets, your money will be automatically diversified. Now, if you were to do this on your own, this is going to be very difficult. Why? Because you have to monitor multiple assets and you have to rebalance your portfolio from time to time, and to an individual this is going to be difficult. But when you invest in a unit trust, this will automatically be done for you and your money will be automatically diversified. That's the first benefit. The second benefit is access to assets that are not available for individual investors. As I discussed in the first video, there are certain assets that retail investors or small scale investors like you and I have access to. Some of them can be commercial debt instruments, as well as sometimes certain government securities. But if you invest in a unit trust fund that invests in such assets, you get to access those assets that you did not have access as an individual investor. So that's the second benefit. The third benefit is better rates because of higher leverage. There are certain assets that would provide a higher return based on the amount you invest. As an example, if you were to compare investing 10,000 rupees versus 100 million rupees, you can get a better rate by investing 100 million rupees. Now, as an individual, I doubt that you have 100 million rupees. But the beauty of unit trusts is that a unit trust fund will collect money from thousands of individuals as well as corporate investors, and with a lot of money, they can leverage a higher return. They can demand for a higher return, and with a little amount of money, you still can benefit higher returns if you are investing in a unit trust fund. So that's the other benefit of unit trusts. The fourth benefit is higher returns. If you were to compare the return of a unit trust with some of the traditional investments like a savings deposit or a fixed deposit, in most cases you can get a higher return with a unit trust. Keep in mind that this depends on the fund type you invest as well as how that fund performs, but in most cases you can get a higher return if you were to compare it with a traditional bank deposit. But keep in mind that this is not always the case. There can be instances where the return of a unit trust can be lower. The next benefit is you don't need millions to get started. Most of us assume that to invest we need a lot of money. This is a misconception. The good thing about unit trusts is you can get started with a very little amount. As an example, if you take CAL, you can start with as little as 100 rupees. So this is why I recommend unit trusts for beginners, because you don't need a lot of money to get started investing. The next benefit is no hard work for you. When you invest in a unit trust, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to keep track of what's happening in the economy. You don't have to keep track of different assets. You don't have to rebalance your portfolio from time to time. You don't have to diversify your portfolio. All this will be done from the fund management company. Most of us, we have busy lives and we don't have time to actively invest our money. But when you invest in a unit trust, you can get the same benefits of active investing without having to do anything. So that's the other benefit of investing in unit trusts. Another benefit of a unit trust is you can invest and withdraw your money whenever you want. Now, keep in mind that this is only applicable to open-ended funds, but in an open-ended fund, you can invest and you can withdraw your money whenever you want. Now, if you were to compare units with a traditional investment like fixed deposits, in a fixed deposit, you cannot add additional money to your investment, as well as you cannot withdraw your money whenever you want. Now, if you want to learn more about different unit trust funds that are available in Sri Lanka, make sure to check out the previous video in this series where I deep dive into different fund types that are available in Sri Lanka. You'll find the link in the description below. The final benefit is units are great for beginners. Now, if someone were to ask me, Nishan, I want to invest, where should I begin with? I usually recommend them to start with units. Why? Because first, you don't need a lot of money to get started, and the second thing is you don't have to do anything in the beginning. If you were to compare units versus stocks, for an example, in the stock market, you can't immediately start. There's a bit of a learning curve, but with units, you can immediately get started. Then that's why I recommend units for beginners. Right, so those are some of the benefits of investing in units. Now, if you are thinking, Nishan, is there a chance of losing money by investing in units? Well, the answer to this question is not that simple. Theoretically, if the value of the assets that the fund has invested depreciates, along with that you can lose your money. But this depends on the fund type. When it comes to units, there are different types of funds. As an example, there's a particular type of fund that only invests in the Colombo Stock Exchange. These funds are called growth funds. Now, when you are investing in the stock market, since the stock market is highly volatile, if the stocks in the fund goes down, along with that, you can lose your money. On the other hand, there are certain funds that invest in short-term fixed income instruments. These funds are called money market funds, and they invest in short-term instruments like fixed deposits as well as government securities. Now, in such instruments, you are going to get a fairly stable return, so the chances of losing money or the probability of losing money is fairly slim. Overall, if you are investing in fixed income funds like money market funds or income funds, the only way you would lose your money is if those assets does not pay back to the fund. The chances of this happening is not very likely. First, because the fund management company does their due diligence when they are selecting different assets, and also they are being monitored by internal as well as external parties like Security Exchange Commission. Secondly, even if some assets go bad, chances of happening this to all assets is highly unlikely. Why? Because the money is diversified. So in worst case, you might lose some money, but you might not lose everything. But again, like I told you, it all depends on the different fund type that you have invested. Now, if you want to learn more about the different fund types that are available in Sri Lanka, make sure to check out the previous video in this series. Right, so that's the end of this video. Now you know some of the benefits that you get by investing in units. Now, if you're thinking, Nishan, I want to get started investing in units, where can I get started? Make sure to check out CAL. They have a range of unit trust funds and I invest regularly with them. Now, getting started with CAL is super simple. All you have to do is visit their website and you can open an account completely online. That's the beauty of CAL. You can do everything online. Just open an account at the CAL portal and you can get started investing, and I'll add the link in the description for you to sign up. Alright, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something, and until my next video, happy investing.